Alright, what up YouTube? So today I'm going to be taking out my stock intake and putting in the Cobb Big SF Intake for the 2015 plus Subaru WRX. So I got the pipe here, some of the hardware and couplings. I got the funnel, the cone filter, and the actual air box inside, so I'll take those out in a little bit. But I'm going to show you guys all the tools that you need per Cobb's website. Here are the needed tools. Let's see, 1/4 inch ratchet, 1/4 inch 8mm socket, 1/4 inch 10mm socket, 1/4 inch 12mm socket, 6-inch extension, 12-inch extension, some scissors to cut the trim that goes on the intake box, a flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and some Allen wrenches, 5mm, 3mm, and 2.5mm, all of which are provided in the Cobb kit. Some of my tools are a little bit different. Like for example, we have to take the Undertray off of the car, and instead of using a screwdriver and damaging the clips, I actually have like a clip removal kit, so I'm going to use this instead. This is going to make it a lot easier. But alright, first things first. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the MAF sensor, which is actually right there. So you're going to use the your Phillips screwdriver to take off the 2 screws, and then you're going to unclip it, and you're going to gently take it out and then stick it into the new intake pipe. One thing I noticed, it's easier to do because it's kind of tight to get to that back screw. So if you just unclip the actual box, this will have a little bit more play in it, so then you can just move it over. You have a little bit easier access to that screw. So alright, let's take that out and swap it into the new pipe. Alright guys, so I took the MAF sensor out. Here it is. Be very careful with this. This is a very delicate sensor. This is what measures the amount of air getting sucked into the engine and the temperature of it. If you haven't cleaned it, now would be a good time to get some MAF cleaner and just, spray it on the inside. I've actually cleaned mine out recently, so I don't have to do that. But basically, you take this out. On the intake pipe, you have a slot right here. Get rid of this plug. So you're gonna put the MAF sensor right here, and then you're gonna get the 2. I believe these are. Let me double check. 4mm. There's 2 tiny screws that have these hex heads on them. They are M4 by 8. So there's 2 of them. So you're gonna use these 2 screws to attach the MAF sensor to the new pipe. And there's a little Allen wrench inside the kit that you also will use. So let's get this on. So I got the sensor on there, put the screws on, tighten them down, and don't worry, if you try to put it in backwards, you'll see that the screws don't match up. So then just flip it. It only goes in one way. But you don't want to make these screws nice and tight, but don't over tighten them. You don't want to strip the threads. So just make sure they're nice and firm. Alright, the next step is going to be to remove the snorkel. This is what feeds fresh air right into the air box. So this is really simple. There's just 2 clips here. Just take those clips out and this whole snorkel will come off. Just like that. Comes right off. Like I said, really simple, just those 2 pop clips. So now the next thing is going to be to take the air box itself off. So in order to start taking this box off, first thing you want to do is get rid of this 10mm nut right here. And there is another one right down here. So those 2 are holding this front part in there. So remove those bolts off, and then we can start pulling this front piece off. Alright, so after you take those 2, that 1 bolt on there, and that 1 screw, there's 1 nut, you just want to unclip the box, and you kind of gotta wiggle this out of here, pop this out of here, and then the front portion of this should pop out. Alright, after some finagling, I got it out. It's always good to check your air filter regularly because you don't want this. So I'm hoping that wasn't from a squirrel or mouse living in my air box, but that's not good. And this filter is disgusting. that's my fault. I haven't cleaned it in forever. Might be one of the reasons my dam has been dropping in my stage 1 tune. But yeah, always good to periodically check your air filter. So to get the back half of this off, there is a worm clamp right there. Let's see if you guys can see it. It's right back there where my finger is. I don't know if you can see it. So get an 8mm, loosen that up, and then you can take this back half off. Alright, this thing's a little tough to get out. I loosened it, but it's not coming off, so I'm just gonna leave it together. The next thing to do is to remove these two nuts here, so you can remove this bracket. These are 10mm, so remove these two. And then after that, the next step is to actually get underneath the car and take all the clips off so you can remove the undertray. Alright, so bracket came off pretty easily, no problems. And then now, we're gonna go underneath the car. And here's where things get a little bit interesting. So, we basically have to remove this entire tray. This black tray, under tray. And there's quite a few clips. Looks like I'm actually missing a few of them. But there's 2 bolts that need to be removed. Let me see if I can find the bolts to show you guys which ones those are, and then where all the clips are. I'm gonna try to point out as many as I can. I have the Cobb website open because there's so many of these. But basically anything that's holding this tray in place you have to remove. There's a few clips up front. There's one right here, one right here, one right there. My car is actually missing the screws. There's supposed to be 2 12mm screws. One over here, which I'm missing, oddly. And another one right here. Oh, sorry. Wrong spot. There's supposed to be one right here, which is missing. And I'm supposed to have another one here, also missing. A little odd. It makes me wonder if the previous owner did make some modifications to this car. I don't know, but yeah, so those are the only 2 screws, and the rest is just a bunch of pop clips. And there's also 3 pop clips in the passenger side wheel well, and another 3 on the driver's side wheel well. So I'll point those out once I get to that part. So I already got all the ones underneath, so I'm working on the ones in the wheel well. So there was one here. I'm on the passenger side right now. There's another one right here, and then there's 2 up there, and then there's the same thing on the opposite side, on the driver's side. So make sure you remove those, and then this whole entire under tray comes off. Alright, so those clips are a little bit harder to reach, so since I have my car lifted up on jack stands, just move the wheel around to give yourself some clearance, and then it makes it a lot easier to get these out. So highly recommend getting some replacements, or like a replacement kit. They're not that expensive, maybe a few bucks for all the clips, because this one over here was a little tough to get out and kind of launched itself when I pulled it out. No idea where it went, but yeah, I guess I'll just have to replace that one. So now the whole under tray should come out, and there you go, under tray came right out. Okay, so now that we have the under tray taken off, the next step is to come down here where the intake pipe is. There is a bolt right here, or a nut right here on this bracket. So that's holding the intake in place. So it's a 10mm nut. Take that off. After you're done taking that off, you can take off this hose clamp, or loosen this hose clamp right here. This is connecting the intake pipe to the turbo inlet over here. So take this nut off, loosen this clamp, and then you can take the whole stock intake pipe off. Okay, so as you're trying to remove the intake, you'll see it might get kind of caught on this under panel. So in order to make it easier to pull out completely, this is the under tray or under panel on the passenger side. So just loosen the front two clips. There's one right here, and then loosen this bolt right here. Loosen all that, and then you'll have a lot more space to be able to pull out the stock intake. And after loosening that tray, intake came out nice and easily. So you actually don't have to take this part off. It does make it a little bit harder to get out just because this piece is kind of big and awkward. But I was able to get it out. So now the old intake's out of there, we can start putting in the new one. And since we took off the pipe that goes to the turbo inlet, we can actually take a peek at the turbo. I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's kind of dark. Got my phone light, and there's a turbo. That's really cool. Cool. All right. So next, take your intake pipe and put the silicone elbow on there. In the direction it says to use silicone lube, but I mean it went on there pretty easily, so I didn't need to use any. If it's too difficult to put on, you know, you guys can try putting some on, but yeah, I didn't have any issues. Alright, so now I'm gonna feed this into the car. Put the two hose clamps around here. Don't tighten it, but just put them on there, and then you're gonna attach this side to the turbo inlet. All right, so maybe the lubricant might help a little bit, just making everything fit, but I have it on here right now. So I have the top of the intakes over here, and I have it attached to the turbo inlet down here. So when you're attaching it, just make sure that you don't go over this notch. There's a little notch on the inlet. I don't know if you can see it right here. There's a little notch. So the stock intake, you know, lines up with this notch, but we're not using a stock intake. So make sure you don't go over this notch with the tube, with the coupler, because if you do, you will get a leak. So make sure, you know, just leave a little bit of space so you're not over that notch. And yeah, make sure you have your worm clamps. I have one here, and then yeah. So now we're gonna work on putting together the intake box. I did this off camera, but basically what we're gonna do now is you're gonna take your intake box and you're gonna put this like molding or like weather stripping kind of looking thing around the edges. So this is where the snorkel's gonna go. This is where the air is gonna get fed in. So this helps creates like a good seal, and you know, reduces rattles. You're gonna put another strip here, around here, and one in the back. So if you just go to Cobb's website, they'll tell you exactly, you know, how much to cut for each one. It's not that difficult, and they give you plenty, so there's, you know, extra in case you mess up. But you know, when you're doing these, make sure you measure it twice before you cut, because they do give you extra, but if you use too much, then you might not have enough. So now the next step is to take this box and stick it right in here where it's gonna go. So yep, you might have to bend a few of the parts to make it fit, but it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so the box is in there, and then just make sure that, you know, the bolts, the holes line up. So that one lines up over there, and that one lines up down there. Next step, which I also did off camera, is to take this bracket and mount this little ring. So this is another piece of that weather stripping material. So this goes around, and the intake tube will actually sit in here, and this will help to, you know, keep it from rattling around, and, you know, the weather will help reduce any, like, you know, noise and keep it nice and snug and secure. So next is, you know, to cut the piece of stripping to fit around here. Again, you know, just check Cobb's website and they tell you exactly how much to cut. It's not that difficult. So after you get this thing done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your original intake bracket, the one that we took out at the beginning, and you're basically gonna mount this back onto the car right here. So you're gonna put this on, and then you're gonna put this bracket on top of it, and then you can put the screws on. Don't tighten it all the way, you know, first make sure that the intake tube, you know, fits in there, and then, you know, just make it like loose, and then eventually once we're done, we'll tighten it up. Next, you're going to take your MAF sensor extender, and now you're going to connect the MAF sensor. So the original connector is right back here, and then the MAF sensor is down over here. So point it out right here. So what you can do is you can take it and just like route it around the back. That should be fine. If it's too loose, you can use a zip tie and tie it up. All right, so this next step is really crucial. I kind of already put my filter on, but basically what you're gonna do is from the edge of the pipe, you're gonna mark 1 inch, which is the same as I think like 2.54 centimeters or something like that in metric. But basically you wanna make sure that this filter, the end of the filter is 1 inch away from the entry, because the Stage 1 Plus Cobb tune from the Access 4 is like calibrated and like designed with the intake being 1 inch away from the entry. If you shove it all the way in, if it's not in far enough, you're gonna run into issues. The car might not run right. So you know, just make sure that you have it, that you mark it off. You know, mark it a few times so that way you know it's even, and then you know, make sure you put it in at that spot. And then after you have it there, once you marked it down, you know exactly where it's supposed to be. Tighten down the clamp, and then we can start putting the bolts back on and closing things up. Is to tighten down this hose clamp and the 2 down below. All right, now that all the hose clamps are tight, the next thing to do is to put this under panel back on. Put this side piece back on, close everything up down there, and then we'll start securing the box. Okay, so now we're gonna be installing the hardware for the intake box. So there's 3 mounting locations. There's gonna be one back here, one right here to the OEM bracket, and then the one that's down here. So all 3 locations are going to have this setup, which is the M6 hex bolt. You have a lock washer, a fender washer, and then for this one right here, where you bolted to the original bracket, you will also use a serrated nut. All right, so after you mount the hardware, don't tighten it all the way down, because we're gonna have to put the snorkel first, and then the lid to make sure that the lid fits. If the lid fits, then you can go back and tighten down all of the mounting hardware for the box. If the lid doesn't fit, loosen the hardware again and try to, like, you know, just bend the box, try to move it around to see if you can get the lid to fit properly. Because once it fit properly, then you want to tighten everything down. So, all right, let's put the snorkel back on, and then let's test fit the lid and see how it fits. Verify that your lid fits, and you tighten everything down. You're gonna use the last 5 bolts and 5 nylon washers. I believe these are 4mm hex. So you're gonna have 1 in the front, 2 on the sides, and 2 in the back. All right, so now the intake's in there. The lid is on there, nice and firm. Everything's bolted down. Next thing to do is make sure you put in the, you install the Stage 1 Plus tune from Cobb, because the Stage 1 tune is not designed for an intake, especially this intake. So make sure you run the Stage 1 Plus tune, or get like an E tune or something, or a Pro tune. So, all right. Time to remap the car and see what difference there are and what noises it makes.